About 702 years ago, yeah, 7 centuries back, there was probably the most expensive and grand pilgrimage any Muslim has ever made. And who made it? This powerful guy, Mansa Musa, the king of a super-rich empire. He didn't just go alone. Nope. He brought 60,000 people with him. Soldiers, generals, ministers, servants, even doctors and their medical teams. Honestly, it was like he brought a whole city on a trip. They traveled on foot for a super long distance, somewhere between 2,500 to 2,800 miles, all the way to Mecca, the holy city of Islam. Imagine it, a massive caravan of camels, horses, and 60,000 people, soldiers, doctors, cooks, everyone, marching together. This pilgrimage wasn't just huge in scale, it was probably the most expensive trip in history too. And all of this was done by one incredibly powerful man, Mansa Musa, the king of the super-wealthy Mali Empire. Back then, the capital of Mali was a city called Niani, a city that was super advanced and powerful for its time. I know, it's hard to believe, but Mali was one of the strongest countries and had one of the biggest civilizations in the world back then. But today, compared to the other powerful countries in the world, it's much weaker. The reason is that many of today's powerful countries colonized a lot of African nations, which is why Mali and others lost much of their old strength. All right, now let's talk about Mansa Musa's pilgrimage. This trip was crazy expensive. If we calculate it in today's money, it would have cost around $400 to $500 billion. Yeah, that's enough to buy a whole modern city with all the facilities. Historical records say that Mansa Musa traveled with 60,000 people, and he gave each one of them 1 or 2 kilos of gold to carry all the way to Mecca in Saudi Arabia. These gold gifts weren't just for show. They were meant to give to the people in Arabia and to the towns along the way. Mansa Musa's journey started in Niani, the capital of Mali, heading all the way to Mecca in Saudi Arabia to visit the Holy Kaaba. They left Niani in West Africa and traveled across the region, passing through Walata in what is today Mauritania, one of the key gateways of the African desert. The next city they passed was called Tagaza, a strategic and wealthy city thanks to the salt mines there. After that, they faced a long, grueling journey across the scorching Sahara Desert, one of the hottest and largest deserts in Africa. The next city they reached was Cairo, the capital of Egypt, a city full of history, civilization, and secrets. The most important part of Mansa Musa's journey was in Cairo, Egypt, where he made a long stop. Historians say that Mansa and his massive caravan stayed in Cairo for 3 months. It's said that Mansa gave so much gold to the ruler of Egypt and to the people of Cairo that gold lost its real value for up to 8 years after his visit, because suddenly everyone had gold. Historical records also say that Mansa gave even more gold to the poor people, and the economy of Egypt was disrupted for 2 or 3 years because of it. After Egypt, Mansa Musa traveled to Medina, the city of Prophet Muhammad, to visit the place where the prophet had lived. It's written that in Cairo, Egypt, Mansa gave out gold without distinction between the poor and the king. He spent his endless wealth freely, gifting gold to the people. But in Medina, he was much more careful and discreet with his spending. At night, he would go anonymously, so no one would know that it was Mansa Musa, the great king, helping the poor and giving them gold. When people asked him why he was so cautious in Medina, he replied, "Medina is the city of God's prophet, and I don't want to show any disrespect to the beloved prophet." Finally, Mansa Musa reached Mecca, the holy city of Islam, and spent several days performing Hajj and visiting the Kaaba, the house of God. During that month, he also gave gold and gifts to the poor and the local rulers of Mecca. Historical records say that even in Mecca, the value of gold temporarily dropped because everyone suddenly had gold. Historical records say that Mansa Musa spent so much on this journey and gave away so much gold to the poor that for several years it was hard to find a poor person anywhere. Historians also say that when King Mansa's journey came to an end and he was heading back to Mali, he faced a shortage of money and gold. He had to borrow money and gold from Egyptian merchants and later paid it back to them with interest when he returned home. And that was the incredible journey of Mansa Musa, the king of Mali, a journey that happened about 702 years ago. Makes you wonder, if Mansa Musa were alive today, would he still give away all that gold and lavish gifts like he did back then? Write your thoughts in the comments.